Okay, this is number 2. So your work seems pretty good for the most part. I'll follow along with what you did just to show you where I had a little difference than you did. So I see the first thing you did was 0.07 divided by 12. That's good. Get that. And you added that to 1. That's good. That's where you get this 0.00583 repeating. This really should be repeating, but you just rounded it for the paperwork. So from there, we're going to raise that to the power of 72. I'll raise that to 72. Okay, good so far. So then I think the difference you have here is that you actually use the rounded version. So if you have a calculator like this or the 30x, I would just take the previous answer and keep adding to it. But I'll do what you did. So instead of doing that raised to the power of 72, I'm going to use your decimals. So I'll say, okay, so we have 1.00583 raised to the power of 72. So that's where you get that. You minus 1. So there's your numerator. That's your numerator. But if you're going to use 0.00583 as your decimals here, you really should use the same decimals down below. So you should also be dividing by 0.00583. And my advice, if you're going to round it, you're not going to use the actual numbers from the calculator, try and use as many decimals as possible. I'd say at least 4. So this should be maybe 3.3, and this would be 3.3. But for right now, we'll just use your decimals. So if I divide by the same thing, I get that. So that's where you got a different answer than I did. You got this, 103, I guess, 0.948. So when you divide by the more accurate decimal, I got a much different number. So then when I do 40,000 divided by that, that's where I get my answer. The answer the book had was 448.68. It's because of this issue here. Whatever decimals you use on the top number, make sure you use on the bottom number because they are the same thing. This and this are the same. Okay, so that should fix that problem. The only other one I think you had an issue with was, it says you deposit $600 in an account earning 6% interest compounded annually. This is one deposit. We deposited one time. That's going to be compound interest. That's going to be P sub n, excuse me, equals P sub 0 times 1 plus R over K to the NK power. Let me see if I can find that in your email. And I'll copy that over. Here's your document. That is number 8. So I don't know if I was able to follow along in your work for this one. So I think I know what had happened. You just used the wrong formula. That's what happened here. It looks here like you have the annuities formula, but since we're only depositing it one time, it's a very small difference. This will be a compound interest problem. So you would use this guy, the second formula or the third formula on the formula sheet. If it said you deposit $600 each year, your answer would be absolutely correct. But since it's missing just these two words, it's going to be a compound interest problem. So you're going to use that formula instead.